You're the older brother.
Mhm.
Break it. Break the generational curse. You don't like it. You just said it. So break the generational curse. You're already doing it. You get fashion. You're trying to make things happen. And yet, break it, man. There's no reason why you can't.
Hey guys, how you doing? Welcome back to another episode of Confidential Thoughts with your hosts Pauley and Tyreek. We have a special guest today, mentor, motivational speaker, host. JT Chronicles is in the building.
Motivational guru.
Yeah,
All the above, whatever it is. What's happening, guys? How you doing?
good.
I must say, forgive me right now because I'm trying to learn how to turn the volume off on this thing, and it sometimes will ring. So I'm sorry.
No, it's all right. It's all right.
Yet. See, I don't even know what that's like. You know, I'm busy.
So we like to start it off as like, how are you? We do it. What was a scale? It was.
Yeah, we do physically, mentally, and emotionally. How you doing from a scale of 1 to 10?
Scale of 1 to 10.
Yeah.
First of all, let's just start with the fact that I'm blessed. So I'm at a 10. Because I woke up that's why I get up early. Because you have to right at the back. I don't care what happened yesterday or anything. You woke up, all right, boom, let's go.
Yeah.
So I'm at a 10.
No, I get
I'm
that.
at a 10.
I wake up, yeah.
Fact.
I get that. Yeah.
Body-wise, I'm not gonna wish anything. I'm not 20 anymore. I don't hop over puddles and stuff like that. Like I know I got plan my week out before. Like, yeah, I'll walk around this way. No, yeah, I'm gonna be hopping over that fence. No, I've learned to make my body heal eternally a lot better.
Yeah.
Because if you've seen some of the stuff I do, like I'm busy. Like I'm on my feet.
Yeah, I see
like, dude, I'm doing, like 150, almost 200 events in a year.
Yeah.
And some stuff with my boy Angel. We're doing events, we're doing resorts, I'm doing private stuff, speaking at schools and businesses. So to get my body, so I'm gonna say I'm at a nice 7.
Yeah.
We're doing 10, right? We're doing 1 to 10?
Yep.
All right. So you said how am I
Physically, emotionally, mentally.
mentally? Today I'm actually good because I don't speak negativity into existence.
Never, yeah.
All about
I believe in that
positivity.
too.
It's the first I got a routine. So I'll tell you right at the bat, routine. I don't even speak to my wife first thing in the morning. Like I get up a half an hour early, right off the bat.
Mm-hmm.
So the cats know the routine. Like it's seriously, one cat's like, it gets up, one wants to window, one wants to be fed, and that routine always starts. Then I put on some motivational stuff. It could be ET. It could be something I've done. It could be, yep. See, that's it. I was checking on me. It could be anybody. It might be, it could any motivational stuff. Sometimes Will Smith stuff. Some things, he's put out, whatever it is, and then I do my affirmations. I'm blessed. Wealth, health, success is attracted to me. I'm attracted to wealth, health, and success. And I look at things and I say hello to my grandmother. I say hello to my father. I say hello to my boy Jay-Z, my grandfather. So people that aren't even here, I speak that because I've been to so many different things that I can't even tell you all this stuff right now. But when I tell you that it's real and there's something bigger than us out there, like you got to understand, I don't care what your religious belief is. Just remember there's something bigger than us. All right?
100%.
100%.
Yeah, 100%.
So when I can tell you that I know for a fact, because I've met 2 of my guardian angels, like I can tell you exactly where we were, who it was, and the whole deal. Like it was crazy. I'll tell you that in a minute, but it was absolutely crazy. So I am blessed across the board. So I'll say I'll give myself a B+.
B+. That's good.
plus.
Collectively on my whole thing. Grade yourself at the end of the day. How you were supposed to be, what you did.
Yeah, you go.
So physically, like I said last time, I was like a 7 or something because I'm getting back into the gym, getting back into the rhythm.
Right.
Obviously football ended, so it's kind of a bummer, you know what I'm saying? Football's everything to me,
Yep.
I love playing it. It obviously helps me emotionally, mentally, physically.
Right.
So I'd have to say I'm probably at an 8 now, maybe 7 still. Emotionally, I'm still dealing with, like last time, my sister's
Absolutely.
1 year is coming up. Obviously, I was getting nervous when I started talking about my sister. I don't know what it is.
I could tell, yeah.
It's just like I've never expressed it on a higher level like this. So
You also haven't given everything out yet.
yeah, 100%. So probably say I'm like a 5, just because it like gets worse until the date comes, and then I'm like,
Yeah.
all right, it's all right now.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Was it mentally?
Mental.
Or
Mental.
I can say the same thing because it has to do with mental, emotion, and
Right.
mentally and physically. So I'll probably 5, 7. That's how I feel. Like I said, that's really the only thing that I'm actually dealing with. That's kind of
It's right there.
overcoming me.
Sure.
also at the same time, I am getting back to like trying to get my health routine back up, start taking my pills again, start eating better, drink more water. So I think I'm doing good, but just that
Okay.
fact is,
You are doing good.
yeah.
Say,
I am doing good.
All right.
I'm doing better than I was.
Right. We only speak positive stuff. So I
Yeah.
am doing better. You are doing better than
Sir.
before. Love that.
So,
All right.
bless you, big
So
boy.
physically, I'd say I feel like at this point in my life, like I have such a routine with the gym and everything. It's probably a 10 all the time for me physically, unless I'm sick or something like that, which I was the other day. But even then, you know what I'm saying, like protocols, it's ginger tea, stuff like that, and then you get right back into it. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So physically 10, emotionally, I'm good. I'm not gonna say that everything's perfect, but everything I ask the universe, the God for,
Right.
it always comes into play. I'm also very big on routine and waking up early and getting my words of affirmations out there,
Right.
because I know that if I put that into the universe, then my actions behind that's always gonna complete the whole thing entirely. And then mentally, life is doing its thing right now because it's slow at work.
Yeah.
So with like the financial aspect of things, and it's like I got to figure it out. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But for some reason, when I'm not rock bottom, but when I'm against the wall, it's always a thing for me to. I like getting myself out of situations like that because it makes me stronger at the end of the day.
There you go. You don't realize how strong you are, right?
Yeah, exactly. So in the moments of it, it's probably like a 5, but I know that there's better out there, and I know that if I just continue to work, then I get to a certain place. I'm always gonna
Keep your faith.
Yeah, just keep my faith and just keep going. So I'll say overall, I'm probably a B plus for the entirety of everything.
All right. I get it.
And then we skipped last week because we got sick.
Yeah,
everyone was sick last week.
Yeah.
Did you get sick to it or no? No.
A couple weeks before that, I had a cough for like a day
Yeah.
out of nowhere.
Yeah.
They have no reason why.
He has all the remedies, I swear.
But I love my elderberry
He
all
got
day.
all the remedies.
Vitamin D. You got the ginger. You take the ginger every day?
Ginger, yeah, I try to drink it every day, the ginger tea.
First thing in the morning, just the ginger and hot water and lemon and honey. Nothing else in it.
Lemon
First
and
thing in your
honey.
body.
Yeah.
Ginger, lemon, honey. Put it in the water. First thing, just hot water.
Yeah.
Or warm water, whatever. And then last thing at night.
Yeah.
That's the first thing you have in
Oh,
the
you do
morning.
it twice?
I do it twice.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I never
That
thought
vitamin D,
about
the elderberry, the echinacea, turmeric. Oh, yeah. But that ginger.
it. Yeah.
dope.
You were
Vitamin
talking about
D too.
earlier when you were saying your body, like obviously it's not the same physically at the age that you are, but
Right.
so you always hear that saying though, like listen to your body.
Yeah.
Like, do you
Fact.
think now at this point in your life it's really like living by listening to your body?
Like you're more connected.
Dude, I take naps daily.
Yeah.
Almost every day I would take a nap. Like I'm not joking. Like when we were kids, you might not want to take a nap. Like I want to stay. When I get up in bed to go to work, I cannot wait to get my 2:30 nap. Like because I know for like from 2:30 to like 3 or 3:30, then I just go back into like the second cycle of what I got going on.
Yeah.
So even when I'm off from my other job, I get up early because my mind is clear. That's like when you're most freshest at that time, first thing in the morning, and I get into it. So before I go to bed, I have a list of what I'm going to do the next day.
Mm-hmm.
I attack that like immediately. Like in the morning, I'm like emails, working out now. I started working out more, just like even like 10, 15 minutes in the house, like doing gym, chair workouts or whatever it is, stretching for my shoulder because I had a situation with that. But I get all that stuff done. I'm on the computer, making videos, whatever it is. I get that out of the way. So I've actually done more than most people do the whole day within that first like hour, 2 hours.
Those early mornings
Right?
do.
And it's a
lot
beautiful
more.
thing. Then sometimes I'll just chill for the day because I've already done so much. I'm like, all right, today it's going to be, I get a massage like every month, like an hour and a half massage. Like
Okay.
either I go or I have the girl come to my house, the table, and I'm like, you got to take care of yourself. I say fellas do that too because a lot of fellas are like, I'm doing, don't let nobody touch me. Like, dude, trust me, that release, that stress that you have that you're carrying on your shoulders, your body feels so much better. Even health wise, actually, Darian my son had, he was blocked out here. like just like the names, like, oh, they're sick.
Congested.
Because when he had a massage, everything just comes right out.
Yeah.
Like you feel, so it's like toxins and stuff leaving your body.
Yeah, I've got a massage before and everything just
I do it
out,
every month, even if I have to sneak and get 10 minutes in the mall.
Yeah.
I'll do that.
Damn, I never really done a massage.
You got to do it. You got it.
It is life-changing.
Trust me. I've been doing it for 20 years, 25 years.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
And then with that, and then you said that you also have a routine.
Every
Do you, from before and now with the routine, how long have you had that routine for that you've been sticking with?
Sticking with this routine for about 7 years.
7 years.
I've been
And you
sticking with
think,
routine.
and everything's different with the routine.
I have a certain routine when it works, when I know when it works.
Yeah.
Then I'll just stay on that flow. I can tell when I'm off. Because
Okay.
my life is just disheveled.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, all right, this is not working. Like, what am I? I'm taking on too much. So when my body tells me to slow down, I will like shut down.
Mhm.
Like I'll shut down from everything. No social media, no nothing. My girl will say it right off the bat. My wife's like, yeah, we got to go.
Mm-hmm.
She's like, let's go. We'll New Hampshire, or we'll do a trip, something like that. Or we'll binge.
Yeah.
She's like, all right, I got some cheese, crackers, whatever it is. Like, we're staying in the house. No phone, shut the shades, binge watch TV, and I just relax.
Yeah.
And laugh and watch whatever we're going to do. But you have to listen to your body because your body will shut down. And my body will make me shut down. And that's what you don't want it to do.
Yeah, you don't.
You'll get sick. Like, my body will make me, like, I'll physically be sick. And mentally, I'm just like, all right, I can't do nothing. And I have too much going on to let that happen. So you got to listen to your body.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know when you're not feeling well. You know when you're starting to get worn down. Like, I'll be all right. I'm young. Dude, take a moment.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
That's my
So on like a emotional aspect, you spoke about loss in the beginning.
Mm-hmm.
What could you say brought you to a point to be so acceptive and positive about it? Maybe it's a love loss, emotional loss, death, anything.
I had a good friend. I decided, like, I didn't really, like I said, when you gotta listen to your body, listen to your mind.
Yep.
Like, what's around you, really watch. Like, I lost a good friend when I was back in 95. And this kid I used to sing with in a group. And his name was Jay-Z. And so he got in a motorcycle accident up on the Scenic Highway. You know, going to a born, all that area. But so he died in a motorcycle accident. So I didn't know that I was at work. So I could, like, certain things you always remember where you are, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know, I was at work. I was working at the Red Lobster, which is actually Olive Garden now. Same owner.
Yeah.
It was just there. So I was there. And my pager kept going on. That's how far back we go. So my beeper kept going on. I was like, all right, yeah. Oh, yeah, you guys know it. So,
Seen the movies.
oh, yeah, it's awful. That's so awful. You got to tell me you got to see it off a pager. So I kept getting 911s, and I called, and I remember I kept getting a pager, and somebody's like, oh, did you, I didn't answer. I kept looking. I was like, all right, wait. And my father came in with my mother and a whole bunch of people. They come to Red Lobster because, you know, that was the freshest seafood around. Not at that time, but it was good. And my father gave me a big hug. So my father was very, like, old school. It was like, he only hugged you if something was really good or really bad. There's nothing, you know. I'm like, yeah. I looked at him. I was like, what's up? Nothing. He already knew what happened.
You thought you knew though. Yeah.
He wasn't sure yet.
Oh yeah, I could.
But he knew. And the aunt of my boy was with them too, because they were all friends. So they went, and then within 15 minutes after, I sat them, because I was hosting at the restaurant. And I got the phone, I called, and they're like, oh, did you hear about Jay-Z? I was like, I just said, is he gone? And the girl was like, my friend Allison was like, how do you know? And I just hung up the phone. So I just walked in the back. That's when my father saw me. So I was just like, bum. So before Jay-Z died, a week before, I actually saw him at a club called Guido Murphy's, which is right across from Dragon Lake. It was like right on the corner. I think it's called like Cove Kitchen or something, like whatever it was. It used to be Seaside. And I literally, this is where you got to like, no, I'm walking off the club and I saw like some girl like touch his hand, like he was a bouncer there. And I saw she slipped a number or something like that. And I was like, I saw that. He just kind of looked at me. And then I got across the street with my boy Ralph, and I stopped and I turned back and looked at him. And it was almost like a tunnel vision. Like I saw nothing else except him. And he just turned and looked at me. And it was just like, it was so deep because it's like there was nothing else I saw at all. Like I saw him, and his face wasn't a smile, wasn't mad. It was just like this look. Like he didn't know what was going to happen. Like he didn't know what's gonna happen. It's almost like you get called to the principal's office, you hear your name, but you don't know what it's for.
Yeah.
So that's what it was like. It was like, oh. Week from that day, then he had passed. So before he did that, he goes, I got you, man, no matter what. I'm always gonna be for you. I'll always help you out. And so I wrote a song for him called Always on My Mind. It was like a poem turned into a song. And somebody called me and said, hey, call this number. There's this contest going on. So I called up, I talked to these people on the phone. They're like, oh, I heard you had a song. Can you send it? I was like, I don't have it recorded though. We can sing over the phone. These people in Nashville. So I sang it. And they were like, oh, do it again. I just did a cappella. And they liked it a lot. It was a good song.
Mm-hmm.
And so they like, we want you to come out and sing at the Grand Ole Opry in Nashville, which is huge. It's like the Apollo, for like, just a different area, but it's huge. A lot of famous people go there. So I had no money. I had just like a couple of dollars. I'm like, I'm going to go. So I'm going to take a bus. And now Jay-Z's mother, I love Mary, rest her soul. And I went to go see her before I left. Now I told nobody anything about, I need money. Keep my stomach growling. All right, say go. That's the hunger. And I went to see her and she gave me a card. And on it said Jay-Z's prayer was on the card. I said, oh, that's cool. And in the envelope, there was a check for money. It was exactly the amount that I needed.
That is crazy.
Yeah.
Like I didn't tell anybody.
Yeah.
And it was, she goes, don't open it till late. So I got it. I'm like, I took the bus all the way to Nashville. Now, when you take a bus, like a Plymouth and Greyhound or anything like that, you're going to all these little towns that you've never seen in your entire life. It's crazy. It's suspect. And so like 2 a.m, so you're stopping at all these little depots. And like there was like maybe like 30 people left on the bus. I had like an hour and a half left to go before I got to Nashville. And the bus driver knew I was by myself. And I just had my feet on the seat, my luggage, and this bum got on the bus, man. He's just like, just got on there. I was like, oh, he's going to go way in the back and sleep on the long seat. That's in the back. Something made me get up, and I took my bag out of my seat, and this dude came right back and put his hand on my shoulder. He goes, oh, can I sit here? The bus driver looked at me, I looked at him, I was like, yeah, go ahead, man. So he started talking, he said, yeah, I built the deck for this country singer and this one, and I did some work for this one. So he was a handyman.
Yeah.
He did all this stuff, and I was like, okay. And then he started talking about the Bible. So he's like reciting, I said, walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I will fear no evil. So he's reciting this. Then he goes back to music. So he's got my attention the whole time, but he's just in my ear the whole ride. So mind you, what he's saying to me is on the prayer card that Jay-Z's mother gave me, the exact prayer that she had in my bag. That was saying to me. It's the exact prayer that my mother said to me right before I got on the bus. So this is all happening.
That's crazy. And
so we get off the bus. He goes, oh, you'll be good. I'm like, all right, thanks, man. He got off the bus. Now it's like 3:30 in the morning, and it's this huge parking lot. The train station's like way over there. And so I'm just looking at him. He's looking up to me in the bus driver. I was like, you good? I'm like, yeah, I'm good. And then the guy's just like standing outside the bus, like looking at me. So we're looking at each other. I'm like, we started driving a couple seconds. And I turned back to look at him again and see where he's at. We don't see him anywhere in the parking lot.
Wow. It's one of your guardian angels.
So when I got to my hotel, it's never gonna fail. Got to the hotel, I called my mother, and she's like, I was at trip, and I told her, and she just started crying. She said, I think you just met your guardian angel. I'm like, yeah, because this dude was spitting everything about me that nobody else knew. And he's reciting your poem, and the verse of the Bible, and he's saying on the card and all this stuff. So this happens, and he just kept saying, just keep doing what you're doing. So that moment on, I was like, all right. So I started listening. Started asking, I started listening, I started speaking more affirmation, I started saying it, like, and stuff just kept happening. Like, you can't even, like, the kids have even seen it, like, happen. Like, sometimes it's quick. That's the thing you got to remember. Like, you ask for things, don't expect it to be, like, immediate. If you're looking for something that's got to happen today, then, you know what?
Or, like, that actual thing, like...
Yeah, you don't know which way it's going to happen.
Yeah.
So I stopped looking for it. I just said it, and I say thank you for it already. That's a big thing.
I do that a lot, too.
I say thank you. It's already happening. I'm already saying thank you. You have no idea. Like, so much stuff I said. It's like, it's crazy. I feel like, sometimes I used to feel like, oh my God, I used to feel guilty. Like, do I deserve this? Because certain things were happening.
Yeah.
People get jealous and they say stuff what they want to say. I'm like, oh, do I deserve this? I'm like, yeah, why don't I?
Something
why don't you?
You ask for it, you know?
I did that, right? You asked for
You
it.
asked for it. And then the word that you put into like your work shows in everything that comes in life, you know.
We probably want to talk about that. It's like that. You can't tell what I do for free and what I get paid for.
Yeah.
Never. Yeah.
Never. You can't tell. You can't tell what I get paid for, what I do for free, what I get down. It's because you gotta love what you do. Don't chase the money. That was the biggest thing. And I learned that, like, just being a kid and doing the whole boy band stuff and all that stuff like that. We're doing. That's a whole other thing. But yeah, I've done a lot of stuff. Shit, I'm thinking about it.
You really have. Yes.
I have 1,000 shows. I have 1,000 video shows.
Yeah, you used to have a show called what? The Real.
The Real. My
Yeah.
boy Tim Luce.
Yes, sir.
Actually, that happened because right after my friend died.
Yeah.
That was connected to that. Like right after I met a girl that was a MTV model down in Nashville. I was like, what are you doing? No, I'm joking. way back, honey. No,
So how could you say your emotional growth inspired like the men around you or even women around you?
I think it's just your growth of who's around you is because of what you give out. Okay? So how you act is what you're going to attract. How you act is how you're going to attract. So don't be surprised. And if you don't step aside and really look at who's there for you, that's the whole thing. Stop for a minute and listen to the people around you. Right? Watch how they treat other people. That's them.
Yeah, I get that. Yeah.
That's them.
Yeah.
Don't ever say, oh, they would never do that to me. Why wouldn't they?
Yeah.
That's really them.
Yeah.
So now I'm like, you got to say, like, if you ever met a girl who had another boyfriend or vice versa, and you met and you guys sat talking, she'll do that to you. Or you do that, like, if you cheat on your person with me,
yeah.
why wouldn't you do it to me? What is so special about me? Nothing. So you gotta let watch how people act. That's a big thing. So we're different. No, you ain't. You're not different. If she or he, again, so I don't put on men. If you hook up with somebody, if you stay true and say, all right, this relationship's not working, and it's because it's just not working, and I'm breaking up and we're done, and you and I have never done anything. Her and I have never done anything, and she was the same situation. We never did anything. Then you got a clean slate and you're starting off. It's like, okay, you do respect me and you respect, relationships.
Yeah.
Remember that. Remember how that you got to always think how people treat each other. Just watch how they treat them, and then just remember, like, that's them. Sit back, man, and listen. People are funny.
So when you're married, right?
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Better be.
So when you found your wife, like what was, like you said, like what was, someone doesn't have to tell you they're different. You know when someone's different. What was different that made you realize that this is like your forever person?
We met actually when my son was sick, when Daniel was sick. He was like 4. I mean, I was going to take him to the hospital. He was like, fever, sick. He's I'm like, I called the ER. I'm like, hey, I know I should bring my son in. He has this fever, and like, and she answered the phone. My wife now just answered the phone. She's like, because she worked in the ER overnight. She's like, oh, you know what? Take him to the shower, close the door, steam it up. It'll help open his port and see how he feels. Called her back like an hour later. Because David's like, oh my God, Dad, I feel so much better. I'm like, you do? He goes, yeah. He goes, I'm good. Fever was down, everything. I'm like, called her back up. I'm like, yeah, I have no idea who you are. I said, but I love you. I was like, thank you. So I would bring them like food, like at night, because I was like doing my stuff at night. So, but it was still, that's all it was, because she was in a relationship, and I was still like in a relationship or whatever. But it was like, it was a respect thing. I'm like, oh, I appreciate you, love you, And so I'd bring them Wendy's, whatever, 2 in the morning, because they're there all night. And it was just a friendship. Fast forward a couple of years, I go to a house party, and I'm asking, I'm like, I'm gonna find somebody, that I love, that I can be with, and that also respects my child. So I said that I would never bring anybody around my kids. Yeah. Just so they thought it was like, I would never, like, he wouldn't even know that. You just don't do that. Yeah. See people do it all the time. Oh God, what's up? Until your stuff's straight, don't be putting your kids around anything. Yeah. And so I went to a house party. My boy's like, I'm going to a house party. Let's go to the spot of the house. I'm like, oh, cool. It was at her house. She said, what are you doing here? I'm like, what are you doing? She goes, this is my house. I'm like, Hey, well, clearly you and I need to be together. And she started laughing. I'm like, so we're riding tonight. So we went out, all of us. And then I kept slow. And she had a dog that hated men. Dog hates men. Back tack, everything. I kept knocking on the door. She didn't answer the door. So I went around the back and I went into the house. I just sat in the kitchen. Dog came out, sat right next to me and did nothing. Nico. And I just petted him. Dog sat right there. She came out. She goes, how'd you get in my house? She goes to the dog, and the dog's like wagging his tail. And she's like, what the? I was like, she goes, he hates men. I'm like, not black men.
Yeah.
And she goes, you got to go. She goes, you got to go. She goes, I don't. She didn't understand that feeling, what was going on. She goes, you got to go.
Yeah.
Because it scared her. And then I met my daughter, Deja, and Deja sat next to me right the first time. She goes, oh, you're Jonathan. Jonathan. And I'm like, she's like, you got to go. She's like, you got to get out of here. So everything was like, everything just kept lining up. So when I say you asked for it and that's what happened, but we didn't get married, but nobody even knew the kids. You know what I mean? Like the kids love each other and they take care of each other. You know what I'm saying? And that's our family. And before her and I got married, and this is a big thing in relationships, I said, what am I not doing right? Before we get married, what do you need from me? That's a huge thing. What am I not doing? I gotta ask the kids the same thing. Dude, if I'm messing up, tell me I'm messing up.
I do that too.
You gotta tell me I'm messing up. And I might forget because you're running your life.
Yeah. But
don't be scared to all right, what do you like? Come on, man. Call me on my BS.
Yeah. Because communicating is
right. And I gotta ask,
thing,
right, but you gotta ask too. I gotta tell them, that's the whole thing. We would have never have gotten married if I didn't I had to check myself too. You know what I mean? We both did. It's a two-way street. Don't let say all's on men, because it's not. Because you're gonna make yourself sick, you're gonna stress yourself out. And I have friends that have lost it because they thought that they had to do everything. Yeah. I gotta take care of the bills, I gotta take care of this, I gotta do that. What is she doing? Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. You're in a 50-50 relationship. You gotta both work together. Yeah. Everybody's gonna have their downtime. She's gonna take care of me when I'm down. Switch. I'm gonna take care of her when she's down.
80-20, 30-70.
You make it work,
yeah.
Right? You know what I mean? But just appreciate, each other and help out and ask. Are you happy? Are you good? I haven't asked you all day. How's your day? Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Because it's hard when you get in work, especially when you're an entrepreneur and you're trying to find yourself, because you get caught up in it. You keep going. You don't think about asking how the other person's doing. Mm-hmm. You gotta ask, man. You gotta ask that dude. I get upset when I don't ask. I'm sorry. What's going on?
Yeah, you get caught up with your own situation that you kind of forget. You don't forget, but you forget to ask those questions and forget to communicate.
Because you keep going. Yeah. Which goes back to my emotional growth and all that stuff. It's well, who am I around? Are you acting like a person you're hanging with who might disrespect their other half? So now you're doing the same thing to yours? Yeah. Yeah, think about it. You don't even realize that sometimes. It's just you take on things. If you keep playing football and you're playing sports with people, you start to pick up some traits sometimes. Yeah. You're like, oh, I love the way they do that. Okay. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? You pick up things. Little things. It might just be, every day you come in now, you're like, hey, what's up? How's the team doing? Because you picked that up from somebody else, because you're like, all right, I got to build up that morale. I got to build up that positivity. You can't keep coming into practice every time we'll lose again. We got this, so-and-so's here. We never beat them before. 86, all that. You set the tone. You got to set the tone, dude.
Well, you seem like you have a very good aspect on love. What is love to you? What is love? Even if it's a marriage, friendship.
What is love?
Yeah. To
me, it's, I don't know. You know what? It's just, it's the way something makes me feel. I'm saying, I'm serious. I love the fact that you actually asked me to come on this. Yeah. That's a very, it's humbling. It makes me think all right, so maybe some kids did hear me. Maybe some did. Yeah. You know? And
inspiration.
It's great, because I do it because I want to do it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And I could say 1,000 things to my kids or my wife or my friend. I could say 1,000 things to you. Yeah. And I'm like, they're not getting it. Excuse me. And then my man over here could say the same thing to you that I've been saying for 5 years. And all of a sudden, okay. And I'm like, I told you 8 years ago to do that, and you would have been, but sometimes it takes a different person, or maybe you're not ready for it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You're not ready for it. Yeah. it wouldn't have worked. Certain things wouldn't have worked for me, you know, because I wasn't ready for it. I couldn't handle what was about to come from me. Like whatever the universe was giving to me, I couldn't handle that at that time. Like I know for a fact, like, you know, my group before we broke up, like I probably couldn't have handled the fame when I was 17, 16.
Yeah.
That was about to come at us. Because at one point, we had J-Lo's manager and Will Smith's manager fly in to see us in Boston, do a show. Because they heard about us, they saw a video. Like, oh, we want to go see him. His name was Benny Medina. So if you see like Fresh Prince and all that stuff, like you watch the show, it'll say, you know, Benny Medina like on there too. He's like, oh, he's got a couple thousand people jamming for us. Sold out shows, we're killing it. But we did something that wrong, where we did something we shouldn't have done. We did something more. They were just there to see us do our single, which is called Baby Love. Ching-ching. No, can't get it anywhere. We don't own it. They took it. But, and they were like, oh, well, these guys can't pay attention and they're not serious, so we don't want them. And that was kind of like it. So everything just broke up. So you think about all the stuff that's going on right now with the music industry and all the Hollywood and all that stuff. Like we actually would have been right in that time.
Yeah.
So God knows what would have happened to any of us if we got caught up in all that stuff at that time. Because I don't even get into the stories of certain things I know, but when I tell you, I'm absolutely watched over. All my boys were too. That like we would have been in a bad situation, like really bad situation. Like this might not be happening. Yeah. Like I probably wouldn't have my child, which I love my kids to death. I wouldn't have my wife if I'd taken that left and we went down that path. If somebody didn't step in and be like, "Hey, I don't think I should go with these people." So a couple of things that happened, you know, like it would have been bad. We would have been locked up in some serious mess with some contracts and some people that are not nice people. So,
somebody watching over you
constantly. You just got to listen.
Yeah,
everybody here is being watched over. Just listen. You know, I love my family. I love the way things make me feel. I love the way I see results when you guys smile. I love the fact I'm seeing you guys do what you want to do right now. Yeah. You know what I mean? Every day is a lesson. Every day is a lesson. And you're never too old to do anything. Trust me, that's the biggest thing.
That's what I was going to ask next. You said something about you weren't ready for the fame. You might have not been ready for the fame back then.
Correct.
What do you feel the pressures that, like, maybe every generation puts on themselves to have everything they want at a young age? Like, they feel like they need to have this now, and if they don't, they're running out of time. Or
you guys have no patience.
At all.
Yeah. None.
Don't have any patience. You don't have any patience. And you know, everything stems from all that, from TV to... We had one TV. So we can roll it back. You have one TV. Everybody's watching TV at the same time. It's commercials. You're patient. You wait. When you do a commercial, I'm going to run up. I'm going to grab the popcorn. I'm going to go to the bathroom real quick. I'm going to money. Like, you do stuff during that time.
Yeah.
You come back home. Show's back on. Patience. You learn patience. Okay? It wasn't an instant gratification. You know, no phone to go on. I want to see that video again. No, none of that.
Yeah.
So you have to be patient. So you guys don't have that. And all you guys are...
But it's not just patience too. No. It's like we have no patience, but we also don't have a drive anymore. No one has the drive.
Too many people right. You guys are getting stuff.
Like a week.
Yeah, that's the thing. I'm gonna do this. You don't see results. This is stupid anyway.
I feel like it's more ramped up. Like we need it. Like, oh, we're gonna do this one thing and it's gonna be there. You know, it's not realistic.
No, I've been doing JT's Chronicles for I think eight years, and I've learned a lot of things. So I wouldn't have been able to handle like stuff that's coming to me right now.
Yeah.
And I think the year of it was 2020. So I've been doing for a few years. 2020, that New Year's Eve.
After pandemic?
It was right at going into 2020.
Oh,
so
okay.
New Year's Eve.
Yeah.
2019, we were I remember I looked at that time it was my girlfriend. I was like, it's gonna be a big year. She was okay. I'm like, no, like I'm telling you, like my mind just changed. I'm like, this is gonna be a big thing. It's gonna change. She goes, and she's like, you serious? I'm like, yeah. No idea what it's gonna be, but I just said I feel different.
I feel that way too.
And but you got to work.
A lot of work.
Right, you got to work. I don't even know what I was working at. I just said, I got to keep going.
Yeah,
keep grinding.
Boom, COVID hit. Boom. what happened? Then we're locked in the house.
Yep.
So I'm like, all right, Angel and I are doing our thing. We're like, all right. Somebody called Angel. Was like, hey, can you guys still do one of your things for kids? So we're gonna do it on Zoom. So only kids had a lot. Kids had
that,
yeah. We did that. So we did, and then when we're there and we're doing it for the kids for like an hour. These people are like in Wellfleet. They were in Boston. They were in New York, wherever they were, watching. The families are like, sitting back and the kids are dancing in the house.
You used to have the 90s nights and stuff.
Oh, yeah, we did. Yeah.
On Instagram Live, yeah. I used to pop in those.
Right.
Yeah.
So right before that happened, I grabbed my phone and I'm like, I'm gonna go on Facebook. And he was like, well, I'm like, yeah, I'm just gonna go on Facebook. Like, we already done with the kids.
Yeah.
Like, just keep going for like I was feeling like pumped up. Shit, we just did an hour of kids. I'm like, what about us? Like, let's have a drink. So we did it, and then somebody was like, what the hell are you guys doing? Like, just playing some music. That was supposed to be for 3 weeks.
Yeah.
We did that for 76 weeks. So from that, I did the video for the girl that was going to pick up her kids, my friend Jackie, going to pick up her daughter because of COVID. She goes, I got to drive. She goes, doing your dance videos for me, da-da-da. So I did it right before I got out of work at the hospital. I had 2 phones that day, so that was like crazy. I played Footloose video because she loved Footloose. So I played that. And then I said, all right, Jackie, this is what we're going to do. I said, this is what we're going to do when COVID's over. We're going to dance like Footloose. And I did the video in the locker room. Like this thing, just like,
Yeah.
That video, then my sister-in-law, sorry, because Jackie posted, which I had no idea she was going to post it. I thought it's like hers. She tagged Kevin Bacon on Twitter. She has like 4 friends on Twitter. Kevin Bacon saw that, turned around and reposted it, then wrote me a letter after. I didn't know this till the next day. Somebody's like, yo, Kevin Bacon put your video on his page. I'm like, Footloose Kevin Bacon? Like, yeah, I'm like, what? They were going on his page. And there it was already like, now at that time, now up to like 300,000.
Yeah.
Voting back. So by the time we were done, I had like 6 million plus views on that. So then I got a call from Saucony. She was like, oh, we love what you're doing. What size are you guys? I'm 8.5. Angel's 14, and whatever. Damien's just did. Still like a box of sneakers on my porch the next day from Saucony. I got a call from other companies. They're sending this. Then I got a call from Ellen show. I got a call from Kelly Clarkson's show. Like, this is like, that was like, everything just kept happening. Remember I said I know what's going to happen.
Mm-hmm.
Then I got nominated for a thank you award from TD Bank. 400 people.
I remember that.
Yeah, 400 people got nominated, and they chose, I think, 4. I was one of the 4. And I still had no idea. They gave me a school bus because I said, what do you want to do? I was like, backpacks for kids, school supplies, all that. I didn't know I won until I walked out the school. And there was a school bus. My name crossed the whole thing and said, thank you, Jonathan. TD Bank.
Fire.
Bam, school bus full of backpacks, full of school supplies. Bam, gave me a new camera. Bam, gave me a check for $10,000.
Oh, man.
That's awesome.
I tell you, that keeps, so you just keep going. I just kept going, not expecting anything.
Yeah.
Never, yeah.
Never. You just got to work. You just got to get up. Don't look for the money. Just do what you love and like, all right, what's working? And don't like, some of my videos, 100 people, 30 views, 20 views, 42. Some 50,000, 60,000. Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter at all, because if I counted on that for business, I'd be all like, the business is not, because some people don't even know I have a page.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It's word of mouth.
Mm-hmm.
So like, oh, I saw you, I heard you, and I heard you an Angel at this, or I saw you speak at this. So that's how it happens. Like, I don't get a lot of business from social media for the most part. It's not the same, ratio. It's like, it's like word of mouth, being out, and then like social media.
Mm-hmm.
And then they said shit. So it comes up, but I don't chase it. Don't look at your numbers, man. It's horrible. Never look at the numbers, because it doesn't mean anything. They be your friends all day.
If you don't love what you're doing, it's not, miserable.
Most of them are miserable. Most of them are not actually doing really what you think they're doing.
Yeah.
They're not really succeeding like that. I have some friends that produce other like high end people. Like, yeah, no, they're like, they're not. They don't have that. They don't have any of that.
Mm.
They don't have that car. They don't have that house. They're not living there.
Yeah,
They don't have any money.
the label making you look good. I heard. I've seen like the documentaries. Like the labels like make you look the part.
Have to.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're sick. You're running yourself ragged mentally and physically and spiritually, because you think you got to keep up this, because you start losing. I'm gonna lose my sponsorship,
Mm-hmm.
because that's all you do. That's not your life. That's not your living. And a lot of them don't fare well. Put it that way. A lot of them don't. So you just keep trying, do what you love, stop looking at everybody else and what they're doing. Like, oh, They'll say, I can do that. Yeah, but do you want to do that?
Yeah.
It's not an easy thing. It's a billion podcasts all day.
Yeah, same with my clothing brand too. Like I have a clothing brand, but I work.
Yeah,
like night and day. Like I leave work and I'm there 3 a.m. I'm working. I'm like really.
You gotta give your stuff. And people are saying it's like you gotta give your stuff out. You gotta give it out. Give it out. I have Patriots players that wanted my sweatshirt. I gave them to them when I was there.
Yeah.
Did they share it? No. Did they post it? Nope. That's a coin toss. I mean, I literally have these are New England Patriots players that I like. Some of them I gave some stuff to. I don't fault them. Like they loved it. I loved it. If they share, I'm not gonna say I'm only gonna give this to you if you do it. I just did it as in like you like the saying, you like the one love, one family. Like So I just gave that. I'm like cool.
Because it could go with the patience thing too. Because what if they were to practice one day and another player's like, "Oh, where'd you get that?"
And that's how a lot of stuff. But that's a whole nother job too. So when you're a one man show, which I'm not now like I used to be, because I had to like slow down and like say, okay, I need people to help me do this. Like I can't do this by myself. Like that's the whole thing. You want to do it by yourself. You're like, no, I'm not trying to make money off of clothing. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like it's a hard racket all day. I don't care how many videos you see. We sold 14 million T-shirts last week.
It's the hardest one I heard.
It is. It's not happening. No, you didn't. You didn't. Yeah, I can get you some real cheap material that you can wear once, maybe twice if you don't wash it. Yeah. You know what I mean? And you don't get anything dirty on it. But yeah, that's a rough business.
Yeah. But like you said though, it's a passion behind it. And like
correct. If you're doing it because you love to do it, do it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But don't think I'm just gonna open up this line and that's it. And everybody, because I got all these friends. That's the biggest problem. Most of your friends are not gonna be your customers. No. Most of my customers are not my friends.
Yeah, I already know that. Yeah. I already know that the whole aspect of everything is like
even with our podcast, a lot of people that support us and comment back or even on stories, write questions, or people we probably never met before in life.
Yeah. Most of my business we've talked about, Angel and I, a lot of stuff that we do or anything I do, like the majority of that is no, they're not like people I grew up with. Yeah. It's like people either I work with or knew about it or I heard about you. I heard, I saw you do a wedding. I didn't know you did weddings. Oh yeah. I don't really publicize doing weddings. Like most of the time, Angel's posting the video of us at a wedding, for the most part. And so he's like, "You do weddings?" I'm like, "Oh yeah, my daughter's getting married." And I'm like, "Okay," and you kind of go from there. You all right? You got emotional over there? It's okay, man.
Give him man down.
The spirit hit him, man. He just felt it.
I know, right? Okay. Yeah. So,
go back. Go ahead.
All right, we're here. So, you spread so much positivity to everybody. On those days that you don't feel positive, the negativity, what do you do to overcome that?
Don't talk to anybody. There's days like that's real. Like, right? Like I just said, like I avoided my wife for like a couple of days just because it was like something going on. Like I find that October, November, December, 3 of the hardest months.
Yeah.
Because there's holidays and it's constant and it's in your face. You got love, you got to buy this and family and friends. Like, dude, it's in your face so much that if you're not in that position or you're thinking of you lost somebody or whatever, I lost my dad in October too. And then,
Sorry about that.
Yeah. And that was a long time ago. But again, this is something that it's a process. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like I had to like go through it. I talked to people sometimes, it just worked out sometimes. You just cry, just let it out. Like, dude, I just like, something triggered it. Shit, yeah. Somebody smelled like my dad when I was out. Triggered it. I mean, right in the middle. This was at the restaurant. Like, right after he passed. This dude looked just like my father. Like, to the point where I'm like, dude, how are you here? Yeah. I was with one of my boys, Tim, and we're like, that guy looks just like it. I'm like, I know he looks like everything from the head to toe. The way he dressed, his look, his skin complexion, everything. And I just like, I walked up, I was like, I gotta give you a hug. Like, I told him what happened. He's like, so... But then some days I just cry and I just get it out. Like I'll sit chill and be in the car or just at home. And it's just like, I can't even pinpoint what it is that's upsetting me, but I know I got to get rid of this right now. Yeah. Or go work out. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Like, but you got to get that out. Yeah. Mm-hmm. You got to breathe. Yeah. You got to breathe and you got to talk. Don't think that you got to keep all that in and not talk to somebody. Yeah. Sometimes actually I spoke to somebody you might not even be cool with, or like really cool, like no. But somebody just talking to a stranger or somebody you meet, just a conversation of anything might actually help you.
Or like you said poems. I like write poems.
Yeah.
I do that a lot.
Yeah.
I write a lot of poems.
Right?
Yeah.
And it's there. You might not even let anybody else hear it.
Never.
But the point is you just got it out.
Sometimes I feel this way, and then I just go from there.
Yeah.
I just write about that. Yeah, that helps a lot too.
It does. So I will keep sometimes I'll repeat a video. I'll go back, or sometimes I'll just write something. Like I said, it might be just my own small, like, little, like, poem, a little verse or something to get out. I'll just write that. Some people will text me, like, you good? Because they know I used to sing a video. I'm like, yeah, sometimes I want to write. They're like, and somebody's like, well, yeah, but sometimes we need to see your face, because, like, I'm looking for your emotion. This was somebody else that lived in, like, Delaware.
Yeah.
So I got people that watch from, like, Texas to Delaware to Germany to Canada to California to Guam.
Great feeling.
Like, all over the place.
Yeah.
And they're checking on me. And I'm like, yeah. I'm good. Like, there's some people that are way worse than me. Like, I'm just going through that day, life.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? But then those are the days you got to, like, you don't want to get up because you don't feel good, but you still want to work out.
And those are the best days, though.
There you go.
I have a board at my house, a whiteboard. And I have
You have your vision board.
Yeah, I go through it every day, regardless of how I feel. Yeah. I have to do these every single day, regardless of how I feel. And then you get through that day, and then it feels even better because
that's what I was saying.
You're just laid in bed all day.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But
the days that you don't want to do something and you end up doing it is like the best days. Like, it really is the best workout, the best training. Yeah.
Yeah. It's funny because you just said that, and then I remember I asked that to Darian and Tara, and I was like, what y'all to know? Working through a day when you don't want to do it, you end up feeling the best.
Yeah.
So they got me, so I have to think of that every day when I don't want to get up. I'm like, snooze once, I'm like, I can't touch snooze again. Mm-hmm. So I have to get up, and I'll do that because I'm like, I have to make sure I get that. My vision board, I got that up there. And every time something happens on my vision board, I just chalk that off. Yeah. And it's so satisfying because, like, I put something else new up there. Yeah. It's like, I'll do 2 a.m. sometimes, I'm like, up. You know, Alicia doesn't say anything anymore because she's like, why are you? I'm like, shh, don't. I don't want to lose, like, what I'm thinking. Like, because you got certain things that or sometimes, even if it's a song, like, sometimes I get inspiration. I'll sing it to my voice message and leave it because it has to be that way. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Like, I can't just, like, write it. Like, I have to do it and I'll just leave it. I might never go back to it, but it's still sitting in my phone. I have stuff sitting in my phone. Yeah. Might go back to it, might not, but the idea has to be done a certain way. I have to put it out, like, at that moment. I'll tell you something I slept on. A couple ideas, but slept on. Nike Lights. Sneaker I came out with. I used to work at a store called Athlete's Foot. It used to be in the Cape Cod Mall. Mm-hmm. So it was Athlete's Foot, the Worst House Restaurant, Wilson's Leather, Friendliest Spinnakers, all this stuff, Spencer's. So I went to Athlete's Foot. I used to, like, be one of the assistant managers. And they brought in the Dave Robinson. Remember Dave Robinson was a basketball player.
Yeah.
Right. So his first shoe, it was like yellow, like specks of black, and the base, the heel was all clear. Mm-hmm. So I was like, I was looking, I was like, one night, I'm just staring at it in the window. I'm like, oh, that would be dope if that lit up, if that was like all lights. Mm. So I took it home. My boss let me take the shoe home, one shoe. Can't wear 14 anyways. But I took it out. I took the cellophane paper like you use in art class, like the clear red, blue, yellow. I took a piece of paper and I put that on, and I taped it, and I took a light bulb, I put it underneath, put the sneaker on top. So we did like red, yellow, blue, green on the shoe. And so all these different lights, we called it Nike Lights. I had it for like 2 months. I went to these other guys. I was like, how can I make this work? He goes, because they were like entrepreneurs, these two guys. Oh, either watch battery or the glow sticks, how you crack them. So we're trying to think of ways to make the sneaker light. Yeah. Held it for 2 months. I was like, we can't figure it out. I don't know. So I called my dude that was the district manager for Nike, who I got to be friends with. He's like, hey, I got this idea. He goes, all right. I went to the, set. He goes, how long have you had this idea? I'm like, almost 3 months. He goes, it's already coming out. And they just met somebody else that thought of it 2 months ago. He said, we have people called, I don't know if they're still the same, if they still have the same name. There was like a group in the office called Apes. That was like, they called my Apes. Like, that was like, they would figure out how to they would design shoes or figure out how to make things work. He goes, you just get the idea. He goes, they make it work. He goes, you would have got a percentage off for every shoe. Oh, man. Or they would have just wrote you a check for like, he goes, we've had kids design stuff and send stuff in. I slept on that. I was like, why did I sleep on that? Because I was listening to people getting greedy and like, can somebody else like, well, the more you invent, the more money you'll get. I'm like, oh, that makes sense. Yeah. They were thinking of money.
Mm-hmm.
I wasn't.
Mm-hmm.
I should have stepped. So yeah, so it was called Nike Lights. I saw the pictures of it too somewhere. It was just the Dave Robinson. I used that. So I said I would never let that, and it's happened a couple times. I was gonna buy a house, it's a little cottage, for nothing in a very, 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 very nice area, like really nice, like almost too nice for me to be there.
Side eyes.
Yeah, and I should have bought it. I didn't buy it, and somebody else bought it for like under 6 figures.
Oh man,
It's worth 1.2 right now. Down by the water. I wasn't thinking. I was like 19. Going to Florida.
Things
I'm out of
happens
here.
for a reason.
I'm gonna buy this. I'm gonna get that. I don't need to stay here. Like, land is valuable.
Yeah.
Like, but that goes with your table talk. Like what you do at the dinner table. Yeah, table talk. We didn't even have that table. My parents hustled their ass off and worked a lot for us, and my grandmother did too. So we just didn't do it at that time. You know what I mean? Because everybody was working. Kids in school. Like, my parents gave us like everything we could. I just know I always ate and I always had clothes.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? Like, you never know what your parents are going through.
Yeah.
And I love them. I would do the same thing and just keep going. But every year, every generation should be better than themselves.
Yeah.
I mean,
Take what they
but like
want.
you just, right, but you're saying to get too lazy because you're getting things easy. It's like, I don't need this. Well, I'm good.
yeah.
Nah, I want you to work harder.
Yeah.
I want you to work harder. Like you're saying, like every you guys like instant gratification. Got to be patient.
Or then people, it's the excuse of like, maybe someone grew up in a single parent household now, and like everyone tries to use this story of, well, I didn't have a dad, so like this is why I'm the way I am. I didn't have my family, like this is why I am the way I am, like stuff like that to try to justify the outcome of their life that they have the power to change at an adult age.
Yeah.
So,
You get to a certain point where you gotta like right from wrong,
yeah,
and everybody can get help. Like I think everybody should have help. I think, and sometimes you might not know where to get it. You got to break that generational curse.
Yeah.
Okay. So just because you see everybody doing it at the house doesn't mean it's right. If you might get that feeling like, oh, we shouldn't be doing this, or they shouldn't be doing that. Well, that's not nice. Or and it makes you feel a certain way. It's probably not right what they're doing. And so either you can talk to somebody at school, depending on, I'm thinking the younger age when sometimes you're seeing stuff, and hopefully you can get help depending on where you're at, what school. Some counselors and people and teachers gravitate to that and they want to help that kid. You know what I mean? And some kids fall into it, and because they don't think there's an outlet, they don't think there's any way out, and they think it's right because they don't see anything else. Like, I've been in the neighborhood doing what my house is doing. My family wouldn't lie to me.
Yeah.
So you just do it next day, and I'm like, damn, I'm doing the exact same thing before, but you don't see a way out. You know what I mean? Unless you possibly have somebody else in your ear, or maybe you're just yourself. You're like, I don't want this. I'm going to work my way of getting out of here. Yeah. Or I'm going to work and grab a job at McDonald's or what. It doesn't matter. Just work to work. Just period. Just work.
If you want
you
it,
gotta
you
have
will
something.
find a
You
way.
got it. You just have to work. Work everything else out, but you've got to work because you have to have value. You have to do something. You got to have a want. You know what I mean? You have to have a reason to get up for the day. I got to get up. 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 Because it's real easy to get caught up in just doing the same routine. And it's just like, dude, I've done nothing today. Like, seriously, when you say, like, I've done nothing today.
it's embarrassing.
Huge. But if you hang out with the people that are just like that, you don't realize it, right? Or you're just doing a little bit better than that person, so you feel you're okay. Because they're really doing nothing, and you're doing just a little bit. So some people like that. I used to know people like used to hang out with people that were like below them because that made them feel better.
It's crazy.
And they're comfortable in it.
Yeah.
Of course. Birds of a feather flock together. Always happens.
Anything to make them feel better,
There you go. Because it's easier.
And that comes in tune with looking in the mirror too, also.
It does. See, I think like when I was younger, all this stems from boy band.
Yeah.
Way back, doing my stuff, and at that time, and we had like this guy Johnny, right, who was our manager, who manages like Justin Timberlake right now, like Jonas Brothers, and he had Backstreet Boys, he had Britney Spears, and he was right from here, and so that was our manager at the time. So all that progressed up to where we were, and then I started the video show right after I left Nashville.
Yeah.
And cable access, we did it. Remember, Tim was like, Tim, want to do a video show? He's like, all right, okay, I got nothing to do. We did. So I started just like doing like videotaping like the Silver Bullets cheerleading team. Like my niece was on. I was like, what's your name? Nicole. You know, what do you want to do? Cheer for basketball. All right, great, yay. And we're going to show, now we're going to show this video. So we actually would record videos from MTV and like on VHS. Too big. And then you're like, we're going to edit. I took a class. And so I'll just say we took Run DMC and mixed it in with, you know, the Silver Bulls Cheerleaders. So we made like a 15-minute show.
Yeah.
We put out. So now I had to take that videotape and send it to like 25 record labels. So 25 VHS tapes, put them in the mail, send to all these record companies when I got their addresses in New York and all over. And then wait for them to say, and I said, hey, if you guys service my show with your videos and your artists, this is what my show could look like. So I waited for like 3 weeks and all of a sudden I got like one person responded. It was kind of cool. We like it. All right, well, we're going to send you this act. I can't remember who the first act was. And I just said, okay, cool, thanks. And they sent me two. So I played it and then I had to report it to this magazine that was called like Urban Beat. So I'm like, all right, Jonathan Thompson, the real Tim Luce producer, John the producer. And we played it here. I'm like, okay. So they put us in the book. So now the magazine, so all these people start seeing us like, hey, they sent us another video. So now we're doing, we're just going to fast forward. We got to the point where we're doing Naughty by Nature. We're doing like Puffy. We're doing like T.I. We're doing anybody hot. Buster, we're doing Jam. We're doing anybody that's hot and new. We're getting it. And they're sending it to us. Now they're sending videos every week. Now they're sending us concert tickets. So we're going to any concert that's coming from Connecticut to New England, Boston, whatever. We're going. Then the big one came. Then it was Jay-Z. I didn't even know. I knew Jay-Z, but I didn't know any of his stuff. So I'm in the car. We're playing it up there. And we went up to Strand Theater in Providence. And I remember just like a little room, maybe this size. That's it. Everybody on the black bubble jackets, you know, black Scully hats. And it's Jay-Z. It's, the owner of Murder Inc., Irv Gotti. Irv DJing for Jay-Z. Like, he was DJing that show. So it's crazy. I didn't even know who that was at that time. And another dude named Sauce Money that actually wrote some stuff, too, for Jay-Z. He had the album out. But I was so nervous. I was like, hey, what's your next video? He's like, it's going to be Big Pimpin'. I was like, oh, okay, cool. And I said some other stuff. And I was like, all right, so what's your next thing going to be? He goes, I just told you. It's Big Pimpin'. I was like, oh, yeah. Okay, Tim's like, so I'm like, okay, all right, well, let's go. And he's like, it's Jay-Z, Big Pimpin', you know, JT, you know, Tim Buck and JT on the reel. So it's cut. He goes, come on. We went on stage and he's like, we videotaped this whole show. He's like, come stay up there. But he knew we were cool, so they invited us back. So when we went back, it was Hard Knock Life. That was at Towers Records in New York. So remember, we were in Boston. We were driving up and they said, Dome. We looked, it was like the whole Mass Ave, like that whole strip, the whole like 2 blocks. No kids went to school that day because he had a signing that day, CD signing. So everybody's there. I was like, shit. So we went up there, we filmed. It's crazy. It was absolutely crazy. Then we went to Naughty by Nature's house. Hip-hop parade.
You know Naughty by Nature?
Yeah.
So we went to their house in New Jersey.
Yeah.
For a party. And it was Shannon Briggs. You had Salt and Pepper. You had Ed Lover. You had some Celtics players. You had some Knicks players. You had Monica sing. You had anybody that was hot. Boxers. It was like a music video as soon as we walked in. So it was like the nation. I had my red candy apple Sebring car rolling. It's like, you know, it was shined up. And all of a sudden, we're like, we see that's like little house. I'm like, we found the right place. Then you heard again, you heard boom. Boom, we turned the corner, and that's just a mansion. And it was like from Master Flex and DJ Cap, they were DJing. So the deck was like this. So we could see that above the fence. We're like, and then you saw like hundreds of people across the street. And like the whole Nation of Islam and like security's like out front, like a few people. And they were like security. And we're like, what? So I popped my candy apple red, you know, my beautiful car in between the Mercedes and the Range Rover. I'm like, this fits. So we videotape. It's me, Lorenzo, and Tim. And then we get there and the lady's like, your name? I'm like, Jonathan Thompson, the real. She goes, you don't have no more than 2 people with you. I'm like, no. She goes, all right. She fixed us. She said, welcome. I'm like, okay. And we walked through the door and the gate just opened and it was just like waterfalls. There was like people, girls sliding down the swamp. There was waitresses. There was people on the deck. You had necks and you had anybody hot. A basketball court. There's a full game going on, right? it had a rubber mat on there, so if it rained, the water would drop down and just roll off, so they can keep playing. So that's going on over there, full court, like they're playing, just like this, and we're just like sitting there. So we videotaped for we were there from 11, 12 o'clock noon till about 11:30 at night, and it was absolutely the craziest thing I've ever seen in my life. And we just went and we got done. They were like, "All right, you guys got to go." The second party started, but we couldn't go to the second party because we weren't privy like that. We just went and got in our car, and we just sat there and looked at each other. We didn't speak for half an hour, 40 minutes. We just drove, and I remember Tim was like, "The hell was that?" I was like, "I don't know. I don't know what just happened." It was the best party, one of the best parties we've ever been to. But we kept doing that, and that was no social media. There was no.
Yeah.
We just did that.
Yeah.
We ran clubs, we ran concerts. It was crazy. I got to meet some real. I met Aaliyah. I was with LL Cool J. We're with actually anybody hot all through. Pink, I'm chilling with NSYNC. I'm chilling with Bat. I'm with all these people, and I did all this, and this is us just driving up in our car, and then we just stopped. But you have internal situations and people and stuff, and we just stopped, and you got to change your life. But everything happened for a reason, and I wouldn't change that. I have 1,000 shows, so I'm starting to go back on it and look at stuff and download. I'll be putting some stuff back out.
Yeah.
Be amazed. It's all different now when you start looking at these videos because now you hear all these things going on. You're like, I was there. I didn't know that was what they were talking about. I didn't know that. I was just having some baloney.
Oh,
but you can do what you want to do, man. You just don't worry about your age.
Yeah,
it's mental.
Yeah.
What do you want to do?
Me?
Yeah. You don't have to give me an answer. It's what do you want to do right now?
I want to do this.
Okay.
I love this. Honestly,
Is it therapy?
Yeah. It makes me, I get to express things that I feel like I never could, or had nobody to. If I can speak it to an audience and they learn something from it, that's better than speaking to, not to be disrespectful, but a family member that hasn't listened.
Yeah, I get it.
And I love that.
Good.
Love that you're here, bringing you on here, learning from you, hearing your stories. They're awesome.
Thank you, man. I appreciate that.
And I love that. Hopefully we can maybe get you another time or bring other people on. And
we got some stuff, man. There's tons of things. What about you?
I
know the clothing, obviously.
Yeah, it's big though. That's one of the bigger things that, like you said, it's hard. But
right.
I feel like every time I do something new, it's more for the audience over and over again. So I'm expanding so much. And like you said, when you said people are checking in from you from Canada, Germany.
Yeah.
I look at the orders that I'm shipping, and it's people from Canada, people from the UK. So I put a lot of time and effort into that specifically, but also the gym and making the gym not just something I do every day,
right.
but at some point I definitely want to start with maybe online coaching. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
But for the most part right now, I put a lot of time into my clothing line. I know I can. I have that feeling right now where
right.
something big's coming. You know what I mean? It's really.
So stay on that.
Yeah.
Because when everybody tries, I got clothing, I got music, I got this, dude. So which means you're not devoting 100% to anything.
Yeah, that's why I devote so much into my clothing right now. Cause
let everything else just fall through.
Yeah.
When it happens. So whatever you're feeling right now, and you got to constantly put it out there so people know about it.
Yeah.
Stay in the focus of that. And again, never chase the money.
Never.
Do the art.
Yeah.
Do the art that you love it.
The details, yeah. Everything.
And be patient. Yeah. Don't just be patient. All right, I'm going to grab that too.
Do it for the love because the art will repay you.
Yeah. Don't try to grab a bunch of things because it's just going to get lost.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You don't want to do that. Just take your time, but try things. That's what I can say when people are out there.
That's a phase that I'm trying things, but that's something, that one right there is I feel a burning passion for making clothes, you know what I mean? And when people to see how someone reacts that I've never met in my entire life.
That's true reaction.
What is yo, you made this? This is crazy. I'll buy it right now. When are you dropping it? You know what I mean? No discount. They're not asking me for no discount. No. They're not doing any of that. They're yo, I want this right now. Can I get it by tomorrow? You know what I'm saying? I'm let's make it happen. And even now, I have a friend. He's in the NFL. just because I made clothes, I made a friend that's in the NFL because he liked my stuff and he bought it.
Right.
And I didn't even realize like his name when I was shipping out everything, but then he posted a picture of it. So it's just like
But he bought it.
Yeah, he bought it.
Yeah.
It's
You
crazy.
You see what I'm saying? That's like
Surreal.
that's the thing.
Crazy, yeah.
You didn't ask you for a discount. You
Nothing.
just bought it.
Yeah.
And that's what's like. And it's gonna be more people that most of the time it's not gonna be your friends.
Exactly. No.
It's gonna be other
that's
people.
What
That's
I've
what we were
learned.
saying earlier. Yeah.
Yeah, and I don't care what people don't. I don't care what people say. They don't like what I'm doing. Then it's not for you.
Never.
That's real simple. It's just not for you. That's fine.
For me.
Yeah, I didn't make it for you in particular. Like I made it for me, and like when I do my art and do my stuff, it's corny. He's corny. He's corny. Like you don't have to watch me
At all.
You can actually block me.
But you're actually helping me.
Thank
Even
you.
if it's hating me,
Yeah,
you're still
it's
helping me a
right?
lot.
Because you're talking about me.
Yeah.
So thank you, and I've had people do that. I'm like, and people tell me like, dude, they were hating. He goes, I told him, you can block him.
Yeah.
It's stupid. Okay, then keep watching. Well, I appreciate you. Thank you. My views are going up.
Yeah.
Because you're watching me, so you can talk about me. I'm like, okay.
And then you realize that no one that is actually in a better in a better position than you judges you. You know what I mean? No one that has a successful clothing line will ever judge me for asking certain questions or showing certain
Because
things.
they've been there before.
It's always the people that are afraid
Yes.
to do the things that you want to do. They're like, oh, you're kind of, they're like, don't you care about what these people think? Like, why are you doing this? Like, why are you doing that? Like,
Criticize you the most.
because I want to. I don't
Right,
care about y'all.
Exactly, and you're at that
Care about
door.
y'all at all.
That's all. You have no idea what's on the other side of that door. You're
Exactly.
right there.
Yeah.
I have no idea.
exactly.
Like, and when I jumped and I started dropping hours from my other job and started focusing more on this, and my wife was like, "Go drop 8 hours. Boom, drop another 8. Boom, drop another 8." So now it's like because you rely on you. So now it's like, okay, I got to do this today. I got to get up. That's your job. I work harder for me than I want to work for somebody else.
Same.
Remember
do
that.
Too. I do
okay?
too. I spend. I mean, when
Fact.
on my day offs, man, I'm.
You got to work.
grinding.
It'll happen.
Yeah.
It will happen. But you've got to work harder for you. If you're going to work your ass off for somebody else, why don't you deserve it?
Yeah.
It's a simple question. Why don't you deserve it?
And then, but that's also because people don't really want to. They just want the money, and they don't want to build that foundation.
Correct.
The foundation has no money behind it.
No.
You're putting money into everything.
You have a good day. Don't spend all that money. You had a good day today?
Yeah.
You better put that money aside.
Yeah.
Don't say I'm gonna go.
Like I
I'm
said,
gonna buy this chain or buy this to show people I'm. No. Put that aside. Leave
Yeah,
it because you're gonna have a bad day.
Sacrifice in the art repays you.
100%.
Yeah.
So I appreciate you guys having me on here though. Well, definitely. Because I know I look at my schedule too. But like I gotta get ready to get on. I gotta go to work.
Yeah.
I gotta work.
Yeah.
People waiting for me right now. But I appreciate you.
I have
guys.
one question for you before you go.
Absolutely.
What's the biggest lesson you've learned through your entire life after you've had a son, or being a father in general? What's the biggest lesson you've learned about being a father?
Can't believe I missed that one.
Oh, you got me right in the throat.
Especially raising a son, a black son, in to make sure that he's a person in this society that does well and bring your name well. You know what I mean?
I had a friend, a guy I talked to at work, this white friend, guy, and we had a conversation. And I had to bring, because we talk about race, a lot of things, which I think everybody should, because you're not going to know if you don't speak.
Uncomfortable
Talk about-
conversations. Yeah.
Love it.
Love him too. Yep.
And I said, the thing is, Pete, you're not going to have the same conversation that I'm going to have with my son.
Yeah.
Like about when you start driving or when you're out or how to conduct yourself.
Even talking to just a girl. Yeah.
Anything.
Yeah.
And it makes it harder because we do have to work harder. I do have to watch what I say. I have to tell him, I'm like, you gotta, and it's hard. And we talked about before. He's like, he's like, it's not easy having to be the nice guy and having to be, I'm like, it sucks. Trust me, you don't always have to be, but I get it, like, because you're thinking like that could be a consequence for reacting the way you really want to react sometimes. So it's like, you got to work hard. You're smart. Take that chance. I would do everything I do for my son. That actually slowed me down and made me think. And it made me kick into a whole nother gear. Because when my father passed, I didn't realize what I knew until he was gone. So now, like, I had dad, so now I'm a father. So now I was like, all right, now I got to know, what did you teach me? What do I know? You know?
So you had a close relationship also with your father.
I did, but not as much as I would have liked to because he worked so much.
I get that, yeah.
You know what I mean? And he did. Like I said, I played hockey, expensive sport. I played this. I had the boy. So I had like a lot of expenses. So my parents were both working 2 jobs. That's 4 jobs, 2 people, which means they're not home a lot. So I'm like catching you here and there. So I got to like try to keep my ass out of trouble. You know, I got my trouble. I got absolutely it's stupid stuff. But I was blessed because my father had good people around him that loved him, that made sure that I didn't get in trouble. So you see how like everything kind of keeps going. You want to break generational curses, and my father grew up in foster care too, and my mother worked her behind off, and still she's awesome. So for me to teach my kids, it's like respect each other, try hard, like and ask us for help. Like don't wait till the last minute. Like if you need something, I want you to ask as much as while we're here, where we can help you. And shit, say I love you. You know, that's a big thing. Like just like you'd be amazed. And I think when tragedy had happened a few years ago, and I remember talking to Darian, you might have been there, I don't know, a bunch of kids. I was like, don't be scared to tell somebody you love them. Like, especially my guys, like, don't be scared to say, yo, I love you, man. I love you, man. And give somebody a hug because you have no idea. I had a kid in the car one time who was like, I wish my dad hugged me.
Yeah,
And he said that. He's like, it's something simple. It's something really simple, but it's really meaningful. And my dad didn't hug us like that. So when he did, like I said, it was like, it meant a lot. Yeah. And because you knew it's coming from somewhere, but he didn't learn it. So I have to try to do things my dad didn't do. And I'm still learning stuff. You know what I mean? I have just tons of things I wish I taught Darian and taught my son and taught Deja. You know, and I'm still learning stuff. And it's like, because you're going. They got to work. They got school. They got games. They got this. They got that. You're like, damn. Like, I'm still growing up. You don't really ever stop growing up. Yeah. I keep making the same mistake. Like, why am I making the same mistake? Like, dude, I'm doing this. I'm borrowing from Peter and Paul to pay Mary. And I'm like, dude, like, where's my money? That was back then, you know? And still, you have days like, dude, all right, well, shit. Don't say we can't go out to home. We got nothing to eat. Dude, I'm sure if you open your refrigerator, you got 400 pounds of meat sitting in or whatever. Like, you have stuff to eat. There's people that really have nothing to eat. They really have no money. They like have no place to live. So I can't complain about anything.
At all.
I can't. So all I can do is just try to teach my kids, like, listen, hustle. Don't get comfortable. Try. Don't be scared. Don't be scared. Don't be scared, man.
Be scared of failing.
Regret will be the worst thing. We always talk about that. Open those gifts. You have so many gifts sitting there for you. You can be on the deathbed looking at all these presents and all these gifts around you that you didn't open. Or you can keep opening them now. Either leave them for somebody else or take them and open them. Because once they're done, they're done. You will never be able to open those again. And certain things you can do when you're younger because where your mind is, where your body is, where your energy is. So certain things are like you're playing football and you're working out. You can do that. You working out now is going to obviously make you better and later on in life for your body as you get older.
Building a
Recuperating.
foundation.
Yeah, I see a lot of people in the hospital. They're older. They didn't do anything, so it's hard for them to recoup. Simple accident of slipping. Oh, damn, you're out of work for you can't do anything. But recuperation, because you're always used to, you're working, you know, you got the muscles, you can still get yourself back up and you can recoup. So taking care of your body like you guys are all doing. I wish I did that when I was younger. You know what I mean? I did for a little while, but I didn't know the significance of it to now. So I still do, you know, as much as I can. Keep it going. I'm not trying to walk around with my shirt open showing the six pack. I'm sexy here though. I got like one ab here. Chicks dig that. I'll spray a little.
Look like a big pill.
Oh, yeah. I'll just spray a little cologne on it and like wet it sometimes. But no, don't be scared. Leap and take a chance and ask for help. Don't be afraid to ask for help. No questions.
Say I love you.
Do it every day before I go to bed. To tell my wife I love her. Tell my kids I love them every day. You hear me every time I see the kids. Love you. Yeah. Every time, meeting and leaving, constantly. You'll never be missed.
Yeah, I say it to everybody. Yeah. There was when me and him first started becoming friends. I used to say it, and he'd be kind of like, "Yeah, all right, like whatever." Yeah. But then it started like growing on him. I just say it to all my friends.
It's because that I mean, you said the kid that never. You said I wish I had a hug from my dad. I can't. In my entire years of living, the last hug I probably got from my dad was probably like when I was 10. You know what I'm saying? And like my dad lives within 15 minutes from me. I can't tell you the last time. I don't remember, which is kind of crazy, when my dad told me that he loved me. I don't remember any of that at all. And the difference though right now is that my younger brother,
Mhm.
like it affects him a lot, and you could tell through the actions of how he lives his life and like
Yep.
everything that he does. And then the difference with me is, um, I just understand that, like I understand like he never had anything in his life. Like he's
So that's why you didn't get it, because he didn't give it.
yeah.
And I understand that. So that's where now you're older. And like I said, what don't you want? What would you want to give?
I want to, yeah, exactly. And like when I have my children, I want to be able to tell my children that I
You can
love
do it to your
them.
brother now. You can go to your brother and say it to
Yeah,
your
it's
brother.
that's like the rocky roads that I haven't. I think I have big problems in my life that stems from those small things with my like just my family. It's very hard for me to. I don't, I, and like this is like the help thing. I don't really know where it's from, but it's very hard for me to tell my little brother that I love him. I don't know why. Um, and it's very hard for me to just like walk into his room and have conversations about how I feel up to him. You know what I mean? And like it hurts me knowing that I can't do that. And
So
it's
you have
not
a block.
Yeah, it's a very crazy block because it's not something that I'm trying to run from.
Right.
But it's like every time my mind is made up to do it, the words can't come out. It's a very traumatic response to something that I haven't figured out. And like
Do you give him
said,
a hug?
no,
So this is something that you're gonna, because how old is he?
he's 21 now.
Okay, so you're strong enough to do this. Everything you just told me that you've done, you get your routine and all that stuff, and you stay very regimented on it. You got to put that on your board. This is what I'm going to do today. Vision board. I'm going to do this, and you do it. And just walk. Doesn't matter. Just do it. I don't care if you just walk up, what's up, bro, hug, and just say, "I love you, man."
Even if he pushes you
Just,
off.
just do. Don't think too much into it.
Yeah.
Just do it, because you're gonna break. What you're gonna do is you're gonna start to chip away at whatever's blocking you.
Yeah.
Okay, like, in my stomach, I'm chipping away right now in my stomach. You're gonna chip away at that and get it. Like, I had to do it like when my son was young. That was me, because my father didn't do it. So I kept saying, like, what do I want that I didn't have? And I wanted more of that. I wanted more of that. So I just said, okay, I have to do it right now. And I started right then, and I never stopped doing it.
Yeah.
So then I started seeing him do it. Like, so I'm doing it to him, so he's doing it. So I know that I'm getting it. So now it's like, even if I wasn't going to do it, he's already going to do it. You know what I'm saying? So you're going to do it to him, your brother, but you got to have that. Don't talk about it first. Just like do it, because if he's like, now it's uncomfortable. He's like, I just want to hug you, man. I want to tell you, love you. Like, no, actually just go in. Hug him. Say, dude, I wanted to do this. And understand, like, you know how much I feel, because we're both alive right now. You don't want to stand over him when he's in the hospital bed or something like that. It's going to kill you to not be able to say that.
Yeah.
And it's not the point of him saying it right back. Just say it. You just keep saying it. It's going to catch on at some point, and because he might be
He'll come
blocking something,
around.
he's blocking something too. Then, if he's not saying it, you're not saying it. You both have this block. You're the older brother.
Mhm.
Break it. Break the generational curse. You don't like it. You just said it. So break the generational curse. You're already doing it. You get fashion. You're trying to make things happen, and yet break it, man. There's no reason why you can't. Nothing illegal about what you're doing. It's not like someone's holding you back and telling you can't do that. You're strong. Just break it. It's like, I'm going to do it today. That's it. It's like, this is what I'm doing. That's like, I want that.
Mhm.
Do you want it?
Yeah, man.
I mean, do you really, no, just seriously, do you want it?
Yeah, I do.
Okay, so this is what you're going to do. It's like, I want this. Say, I want that.
I want it.
I want a closer relationship with my brother.
I want a close relationship with my brother.
And then maybe it'll stem to your father later. But right now, it's like, what do you want?
Yeah.
You need that relationship with your brother. He's still growing. 21 is nothing. You're still learning. You're learning. I'm learning. He's learning. Trust me, you do not want to let that go by and not be able to say, I'm sorry, I love you. That's why I say when you wake up, that's where you're winning. So I apologize to people that I messed up at. I apologize. If I did this to you, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to do that to you. I was in a bad place. So I apologize to you. And I mean that from the bottom of my heart. Because the fact that God gave me another day to do this, I'm absolutely going to apologize to you. and you're not giving it to him and he needs that, you might not understand how bad he might really need it right now.
I know he does. I know. I know.
And you need it.
Yeah.
And it's just him with you. So you two are setting the course for a whole nother generation. Because when he has kids, he's going to pass that down. You know what I'm saying?
And you doing that might be the reason he turns around, you know?
Yeah.
It could be right there, just not taking that block away. Because the anger will make you do things you don't want to do. And you don't even know where it stems from. We've always done, like I said, snapping at people because you don't even know where the anger's from.
And that's what I'm saying. Like, he's everything that the trauma that we've been through. Like, he's that. You know what I mean? Like,
he's the result of.
I'm not as much. Like, I would never just snap. I don't get angry about stuff.
You also have a routine now.
Yeah.
That's why you're able to get, because you, like you said, I do this, I work out, my clothing. You see, you have things going on, so you're releasing some of that. And when you work out, I'm sure you released even more.
That's like my go-to.
Right. A lot of you guys do. I see that.
It keeps me sane. You know?
Does he work out?
No, he doesn't. He's just recovering from, he was on drugs for a little bit, and then like he's just like now recovering. He's getting better.
He was masking a lot of pain.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
get him.
Yeah.
He needs to get him. You're a piece. You're a piece of him.
Yeah.
So just do it. Like, don't even let anything else outside influence you not to do it. Get him. And if you both need help, then you go get help for both of you guys. But you need to get him today. Where your mind is at right now, that's what you lead with. What? Like when you make a design, you're thinking of it, immediately you go to it. Because you're like, I'm just thinking of something. Where your mind's at right now about helping him and wanting to tell him you love him and wanting to give him a hug, you got to take advantage of that and do that. I don't care if you do it right when you leave here, but you got to leave with that. You have to take advantage of that. Because he's alive in your life right now. Don't pass it. Don't take it for granted, man. You'll kick yourself. You'll resent it. I see it every day where I work. I see it all the time. I have family and friends. I know that. I had a kid once, friends with him, and the girl broke up with him and told him da-da-da. She hated him, this, that, and that, and she felt bad after, and he left. And she called him and left a message at the house for him to call. She's like, I'm sorry, I don't want da-da. Car accident on his way home. That was their last conversation. That's why I never try to leave like that. That was their last conversation. Hug him, grab him, talk to him. Shit, even if you started small, I love you, man. I just want to let you know that I'm here. You're gonna watch how you feel, but you gotta do it. You've got to do it. All right, that's my last alarm because I know I have to get ready to go.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Appreciate you for coming, man.
Yeah.
No, I appreciate it. Love you, man.
Yeah, love you too. Thank you.
So,
Love you, dude. We love you at home too, man. Just like, absolutely. Plus. And like I always say, man, it's one love, one family, one community. So love this video. Like this video.
Yes, sir.
Share this video. Peace.